Forget protein powders. These 7 cheap foods rebuild muscle naturally after 60, that's right. Forget the expensive tubs sitting on store shelves. The chalky shakes that promise miracles, but often leave you bloated. And the endless ads that tell you aging means losing your strength unless you buy their magic powder. Let me ask you a bold question. What if I told you that the secret to rebuilding muscle after 60 is not hidden inside a fancy supplement, but already sitting quietly in your kitchen waiting for you? Wouldn't that be a relief? Think about it. Our parents and grandparents stayed strong well into their later years, long before protein powders even existed. They relied on simple foods, affordable foods, and natural foods that gave them the strength to farm, to work, to raise families, and to enjoy life without feeling fragile. So why do we feel like we must spend hundreds of dollars on powders when nature has already provided everything we need? Today, I want to share a powerful truth with you. Muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. It can be slowed, even reversed, if you nourish your body the right way. And the beautiful part? You don't need to be rich. You don't need to shop in fancy health food stores. And you don't need to carry around a blender bottle. You just need to know what foods to focus on. And most of them are probably cheaper than your last cup of coffee. Now, before we dive into these 7 muscle rebuilding heroes, let me explain something important. After the age of 50, we naturally lose about 1% of our muscle mass every year. That might sound small, but think about it. By the time you hit 70, you may have lost 20% or more of your strength. That's why climbing stairs feels harder, carrying groceries feels heavier, and even standing up from a chair can sometimes be a challenge. Doctors call this process sarcopenia, and while it sounds scary, here's the good news. It's not a sentence. Muscle can grow at any age. Yes, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. The catch: you have to give your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild. Think of your muscles like a house. Exercise is the hammer and nails, but protein and nutrients are the bricks. Without the bricks, no matter how much you hammer, the house won't stand. That's why real, whole food matters so much more than powders. So let's start with one of the cheapest, most overlooked muscle builders out there: eggs. I know they've had a controversial history with cholesterol, but the truth is, eggs are one of nature's most perfect foods. One egg gives you about 6 grams of high-quality protein, plus amino acids that act like building blocks for your muscles. But here's the kicker: the yolk, which many people throw away, actually contains key nutrients like vitamin D, choline, and healthy fats that support hormone balance. And you know what supports muscle growth more than anything? Balanced hormones. If you've been tossing the yolk, you've been tossing away half the treasure. I still remember when I turned 55, my doctor warned me about cholesterol and I avoided eggs for years. My energy tanked, my muscles thinned, and I didn't feel myself. When I reintroduced whole eggs, I felt stronger within weeks. It was like my body had been waiting for that nourishment. If you've been cautious with eggs, give them another chance, but cook them simply, boiled or scrambled, and let them do their quiet magic. Now, if eggs are the foundation, beans are the bricks that fill in the gaps. Beans, black beans, lentils, chickpeas are cheap, full of fiber, and loaded with protein. Unlike protein powders that strip everything down to just isolated protein, beans give you a complete package: protein plus slow-burning carbs plus minerals like magnesium and iron. They not only rebuild muscle, but also fuel your body so you can actually use that muscle. I grew up watching my grandmother cook beans almost every night. She didn't call it superfood. She just knew it kept her full and strong. Today, science proves what she already knew: plant-based proteins are incredible allies in fighting muscle loss. If you're over 60 and worried about digestion, start small. A half-cup serving, and your body will adjust. Your muscles will thank you. Another powerhouse hiding in plain sight: cottage cheese. It might sound old-fashioned, but it's one of the best nighttime muscle foods you can eat. Why? Because it contains casein protein, which digests slowly, feeding your muscles all through the night while you sleep. Remember, rest is when your body repairs, not when you're awake. So if you want to rebuild muscle naturally, fueling before bed with a small bowl of cottage cheese is like tucking your muscles into bed with a blanket of nutrients. I often eat it with sliced peaches or berries, and not only is it delicious, but I sleep deeper knowing my body is working on me while I rest. Now let's move into something people rarely connect with muscle: oats. Yes, humble oats. Oats may not have as much protein as eggs or beans, but here's their secret. They stabilize your blood sugar and provide steady energy. Without stable energy, your muscles can't perform and your body can't repair. Oats are also rich in iron and B vitamins, both crucial for carrying oxygen to muscles. Think of them as the fuel lines in your car. Without them, the engine sputters. And here's a little trick I've discovered. Adding a spoonful of peanut butter or a sprinkle of nuts to oatmeal not only boosts its flavor but doubles its muscle-building effect. Speaking of nuts, let's talk about peanuts, almonds, and walnuts. Nuts are calorie-dense, yes, but they're also protein-packed, filled with healthy fats, and brimming with antioxidants that fight inflammation. Because let's be honest, after 60, muscle recovery isn't just about protein, it's about fighting inflammation. You can lift weights all day, but if your joints ache and your body's inflamed, you won't see progress. Nuts are nature's anti-inflammatory snack, and they travel easily. I carry a handful in my bag wherever I go, and they've saved me from unhealthy snacking more times than I can count now. I want to tell you about something you might not expect on this list: potatoes. Yes, white or sweet potatoes. They're not just carbs. They're loaded with potassium, which is vital for muscle contractions. Without enough potassium, your muscles literally cannot fire. Think of potassium as the spark plug that makes the engine ignite. And when you pair potatoes with a protein source, say grilled chicken or beans, you create a powerful synergy that fuels both energy and repair. Too often, carbs get demonized. But the truth is, good carbs are your muscle's best friend. And finally, let's not forget about fish. Especially affordable options like canned tuna or sardines. Rich in protein, yes, but also omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and boost muscle protein synthesis. Some studies show that omega-3 south actually enhance the way your muscles respond to exercise. When I started eating sardines twice a week, I noticed not just less joint pain, but more energy during my workouts. Don't underestimate the power of these little fish. They're cheap, portable, and packed with life-giving nutrients. So those are the 7 food eggs: beans, cottage cheese, oats, nuts, potatoes, and fish that can naturally rebuild your muscles after 60. No powders, no gimmicks, just real food. But here's the thing. It's not just about eating these foods randomly. It's about weaving them into your life, making them habits. Start your day with oats and nuts. Add beans to your lunch. Snack on eggs or cottage cheese. End your day with fish and potatoes. Small steps, daily consistency, and your body will respond. And let me pause here to ask you something personal. Have you noticed your muscles weakening? Maybe struggling with tasks that used to feel easy? If so, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. You're not alone. And if this message resonates, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can keep receiving knowledge that helps you grow stronger. It's not weaker. With age now, let's take this one step deeper. Food is fuel. Yes, but food is also identity. When you choose natural foods over powders, you're reclaiming a part of your story. You're saying, I don't need flashy marketing to tell me how to take care of myself. I trust the wisdom of real food. And that confidence alone can make you feel stronger. I believe the greatest tragedy of protein powders isn't their cost. It's the way they make us forget the power of the foods that built generations before us. When I think back to my grandfather, who lived into his 90s, I realize he never once touched a protein shake. He ate eggs every morning, beans at least 3 times a week, and fish whenever it was in season. His strength came not from something powdered in a jar, but from the earth, from the animals, from nature itself. So here's the twist I promised you. Yes, these 7 foods can rebuild your muscles. But what they really rebuild is your relationship with aging. They remind you that aging is not a downward slide, but an upward choice. You can choose to feed your body poorly and watch it fade, or you can choose to fuel it well and watch it thrive. Every bite you take is a choice for weakness or for strength. And the miracle? It's never too late to choose strength. If this video has inspired you, share it with a friend who might be feeling discouraged. Let them know they don't need powders. They don't need gimmicks. They just need real food and a little faith in their body's ability to heal and grow. And remember, you're not just eating to survive. You're eating to live, to thrive, to carry your grandchildren, to walk with confidence, to dance if you want to, and to live fully no matter what your birth certificate says.